All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Today, in this video, we're going to be learning how to color correct a particular clip. So before we do that, we're going to look at the concept of color correction. What is color correction and what does it mean and how does it apply to video editing? So color correction is a way of adjusting some colors that may not actually be 100% or that may not be perfect as at the time a particular clip was shot on your camera. So during your editing now, you're not trying as much as possible to make it look awesome, to beautify it, to bring out more, to add more beauty, to add more aesthetics to it. So it's the reason why color correction is actually important in a video editing. Color correction is also a sub of it's a subsidiary of color grading. It's a subsidiary of color grading. That means if you are not too satisfied with what you got with color correction, you can further enhance it with color grading. So without further details, let's go into Adobe Premiere Pro and let's look at how the process. Okay, so I have this clip here of an aerobics session. So we are going to be color correcting this particular clip. So let me chop off some aspects. So next we will head over now under this on your left, on your right part of your right part of your Premiere Pro panel. You see lumetri color. Just hit on the lumetri color and it brings out all your color properties of the particular clip. So let me expand my window so that it will be more visible. So the next thing now, what we'll start doing is to start with the temperature of the clip. So let's assume that we are not too satisfied with the temperature of the clip. What we'll do, we'll turn this, move this slider either to the left or to the right or to the left. So you gradually move it until you're actually satisfied with the result. You move it till you are satisfied with the result. So you can move the slider till you are satisfied with it. So let's also assume that you did the slider for the temperature and you were not satisfied with any of it. What you can just do is to come over to this panel and change it to 0. So it goes back to the default color of that was on the particular clip. So let's just use this particular part now for what we're doing. So let's slide to the left a little. This looks cool. So let's go to the tint aspect. I think the tint may not be too necessary, okay, but though I just added 1.8 to it. So let's go to saturation. I think the saturation of this particular clip is still okay. So let's not do anything. Let's not tamper with the saturation. So let's go over to exposure. When we say exposure, we're looking at what's the quantity of light that this particular footage or this particular video clip has. Is the light in excess, or is it balanced? Is there too much light, or is there a reduced light? That's the concept of exposure. Then the next, let's move over to contrast. Okay, I think the contrast, doing this will make the contrast looks, I think the contrast looks, the video looks better with the contrast. I will just adjust it. It looks better than it was. Okay, so let's go over to, let's move to shadows and highlights. Okay, that was too much. I think this is considerably okay. Okay, so whites. I think the clip is becoming perfect now, or is looking more better than it was before we started editing. So there is no perfect on color correction. There is no perfect settings for to color correct a particular clip. So you actually, because your clip may be an indoor clip, it may be an outdoor clip, it may be in a situation that had a lot of light, it may also be a situation that has limited light. So all of these factors will depend or determine how much of a color correction a particular clip will need. So that's one concept that you must understand. So let's go back to, let's look at the reference clip that's the original footage before we added the color correction. Yes, this is the original clip. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it versus the one we added color correction to. I think we added the I think this was around where we added the color correction. Yes, it was around here we added the color correction. So just take a look at this aspect now. This particular, the coloration of this particular clothing that this lady here is putting on. Look at the coloration, look at the floor, look at this particular this other one. Let me move it forward a little. Then let's come over to the one that we've color corrected. Yes, look at this particular clip. Look at this particular clip and look at this particular clip. You see that there's a notice strong big difference between both of them. So you can attest to the fact that this is far better in quality than this particular one, on the basis that we just we've just added just only color correction to this particular clip, and it's now far better than this one. So that's how you can actually add a color correction to a video in Adobe Premiere Pro. So in subsequent video, we're going to be looking at how we can add a color grading to a clip in Adobe Premiere Pro. Though that one is quite of more, it's more intensive, it's more detailed than the concept of color correction. So guys, please like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm Moses Obarisi, and I'll talk to you in the next video.